Western Enlightenment? Who produced the idea of the Cartesian subject? Who decided that logic and rationality equaled reason? Who decided the rational argument then led to objective truth, then led to principles of universality? That was a bunch of white men with property. Okay, that's why. Okay, they were the ones that had the power to determine things like economic issues, political issues. They were in charge of the church. When you think about how power functions, you all, when we're thinking about, oh, someone oppresses me, but that's like the most simplistic version of what power looks like. Power is this sort of, ever-moving, changing sort of intersections of various contexts and issues and peoples and laws and religious practices and government institutions and educational systems and practices within the family. All of those things that I just listed are all interacting simultaneously to create and produce the relations of power that we see in developing Western Enlightenment. Right, so we have the church saying that black and brown people are dirty and breed disease, that women are hysterical and need hysterectomy, that women are hysterical, and then medical science says, you're right, religion, women are hysterical. We should name a disease after that, and then we should do things like give them hysterectomies, which comes from the word hysterical, in order to resolve the fact that women were just like, you know what, I'm just not happy, right, being a slave to this white man. Okay, so what we see is the way that discourses operate together. And the reason that we want to talk about white male heterosexual property owners is because they were the ones with power, right? So let me give you another example. When we talk about the sort of development of the field of anthropology, for example, or even better yet, just the idea of the development of natural sciences, right? Who were the scientists that were producing the natural science that would become the foundation or basis for Western Enlightenment? Who were those white men?
Greeks.
No. For Western Enlightenment particularly, within its context.
Would it be the founders of the country?
Not ours, this is before us. I mean, you could say white philosophers, but like, who were those people?
Europeans.
Yes, they were definitely Europeans, but more specific than that. What kind of Europeans? They were the aristocracy, right? They were aristocrats. The people who were able to go out and study science, right? Or like just be like, oh, I'm gonna plant these 50 different kinds of plants and intersplice them and see what happens. Who got time for that? When you got a family to feed, unless you got some money. Okay, so the natural scientists, right, were these people who were a part of the aristocracy because they actually had the leisure time necessary to engage in scientific survey and study. These were also the people who were anthropologists, or the beginning of what we would call the field of anthropology. These are aristocrats who would travel around the world to these strange and exotic spaces and write travel narratives and keep journals about their experiences and talk about how these people pee outside, and thus they are not clearly European in focus of civilization, and therefore they must be inferior to us. And even more than that, not only are they inferior to us, they must be a subspecies of human. They must be a subspecies of human. So when we talk about the Cartesian subject, some of us never counted as that. So whatever knowledge we were producing, whatever thoughts we were having, those do not become a part of what is considered logical and rational, thus they cannot be reasonable, okay? If they are not reasonable, then they cannot be used to engage in rational argument. If they cannot be used to engage in rational argument, then they cannot be used to produce objective truth. And if they cannot produce objective truth, then they cannot be the basis for neutral principles or a theory of universality, and that is necessary for the maintenance of our civil society. Right? This is the basis of your Wilderson arguments. Right? This is the basis of your Sadia Hartman cards. All right? Everybody with me so far? All right. Where are we at on time? All right.